Hi there, my name is Jillian from Jillian Kaye Arts, and I'm just going to show you a quick painting tutorial of a ranunculus. I'm currently painting some for some envelope art, and I had this little scrap of pre-painted paper that already has some leftover gouache that I just brushed on so it wouldn't go to waste on a palette. So I just have this scrap of painted paper, and I'm going to paint a real quick ranunculus bloom on top of it, and then go back to my envelope art, which I just completed the flower part of it here. So I need to go in with the stems. So what I'm going to do is I am sketching a kind of fat oval right here in pencil. And then I'm going to choose the middle of my flower about right there. And then ranunculus have these like oval overlapping petals. And I'm just going to doodle their shapes here and show that this is kind of like the side of the flower. And the petals will get smaller as you go back towards the back of the flower. So we're gonna make just like thin strips of visible petals here in the back. And they kind of overlap in circles near the middle. And then you kind of bring all the shapes together as the marks meet here. Okay. So really it's not from a photograph, it's just from the brain, because we're just doing arcs around our baseline oval here. And then all I have to work with paint-wise is Liquitex acrylic gouache, titanium white, and I'm also using Liquitex medium magenta gouache here too. And I am just getting different gradations of those colors by going in and using like the straight paint right from the bottle of gouache, like this pink here. And then I'm not rinsing my brush. As you can see, it's all kind of getting muddled here. If anything, I'm adding water, so it'll be a little bit more viscous. Yeah, right here. And that way I can get some pale pink, not quite white, not quite pink. And then I'm just gonna pick up some more white here, so I do get some brighter colors here, maybe towards the top of the flower where maybe the sunlight's hitting it. Not rinsing my brush, just following the guidelines I already did. And if there are streaky paint marks when I put my brush down, that's quite all right with me. I think it adds a very like rustic look to it. I am gonna leave some blue showing through to delineate where the different petals are, just like I did on my envelope art here. You can see where the burgundy is coming through, and I really like that effect without having to use a different paint color to use for lining the petals. So we're just being cognizant of leaving some of our background color in between the petals. And honestly, I sketched out the petals, but I might not even follow them exactly. It just kind of depends on where the paint goes down and how it's looking as you go. Like with the drawing, pencil lines are really just guidelines. They're definitely not set in stone, so why we do them in pencil. It's when you're going in with the final medium, be that ink or paint or whatever, that you get to decide how you're going to set that down. Okay, we're about halfway through painting our ranunculus bloom. And if I'm mispronouncing that, I'm very sorry. I think I've only seen it or heard it, you know, in my head as I'm reading it. I don't think I've heard it out loud. So I'm actually painting ranunculus for one of my clients on Patreon. She subscribes to get custom letters every month, which I really enjoy doing. It helps me get to know people, and you get to tell me exactly what you love, and then I get to make you art based on what you love. There are a few things better than that. So this is my envelope is for a patron named Courtney, and in the past I've made her some musical theater envelopes like Wicked and Les Mis and Phantom of the Opera. She also likes flowers. I believe I made her peony and lavender envelopes, and ranunculus was the other flower that she had listed, so we're knocking that one out this month. She also likes travel and stamps and journaling and pens, and I've made her envelopes celebrating all of those likes. And it's super fun for me, and I hope it's very fun to receive that every month. So then bottom of the circle here, I'm gonna have my lines go this way, just so that they're not all going in the same direction. And then if there are two colors that are pretty close to one another, like these two, I am gonna go in and add just a strip to suggest like another petal in between it and to break up that amount of color. Like these two are pretty close together in value, so I think I'm going to add, just running out of white there. I think I'm gonna add like a thin strip right there to suggest another petal peeking through. And maybe right there too. Doesn't need to go along the whole guideline. Just stop it right there. And I'm gonna wipe off some of the built up paint on my paintbrush, so that it's a little bit crispier. Another level on my Patreon is the $20 level, where you not only get the stickers from the monthly sticker club, but you also get a piece of art from my studio. And it could be something just like this, where I'm just messing around, honing some skills, using up paint that's left on my palette so nothing goes to waste. And I ship that to your mailbox too. So you get a few pieces of mail from me during the month. Okay. I think I'm gonna go back in and add some streaks of mixed pink and white. So I'm blending right on the artwork. I remember in college, one of my professors said you don't blend on the artwork, you blend on the palette. And I think that's a pretty great method. Definitely it helps you be more decisive when you're choosing what's gonna go on your canvas next. But I also enjoy blending on the canvas. And while that wouldn't have flown in his class, I get to do it now, and that's fine. I doubt he's watching this, so no harm done. All right. I'm gonna zoom back in so you can see. There's a little bit of blue coming through in the middle, but not as much as I intended, which is okay. I am not too precious about the process of things. As long as the end result is something that I enjoy, then that's all right. I think that's good. I like how the petals are formed. Definitely looks like a wad or a ball of petals, which is kind of what Ranunculus looks like. It's just, they're a precious little flower. I like how they're designed. Okay. Settled on that, so now I'm going to add the green stem. Let me zoom back out. Rinse off my brush. So for the green stem, I have more gouache. This is Vivid Lime Green from Liquitex. I'm going to add to my palette here, not too much. And I'm also going to put just a teensy bit of emerald green gouache right next to it. That way we can add some variation in the stem. Now I've been using this tiny liner brush, and that was good for my flower, but I think I'm gonna pick out a little bit thicker of a brush. What's this guy? Also a liner brush, but has more bristles. So I am going to grab some of this. And the Ranunculus have a pretty hardy stem, so I get to be generous with my paint here. And then they have these tiny little hardy like leaves coming off the bottom there, and maybe do one more with some of the darker green. And I'm going to add some dark green on one side of the stem and blend it in. And also on the underside of this leaf. Their stems do not taper though, so I kind of want the width to be the same from the bottom of the flower all the way down. And just blend that in. Okay, so there's just like a sweet little painting of a ranunculus, and knocked that out in less than 15 minutes. So that was fun, just a fun little exercise. And let me know if you end up doing this too. Thanks for watching. Bye.